this video will go over finding the standard deviation by hand. You can always do it by calculator, but it's good to know what goes into the calculations before you do that. So first and foremost, finding the standard deviation, it means to find the spread of the data. So to do that, your sample standard deviation S is equal to the square root of the sum of each term, so xi represents each term in the data set, minus the mean, x bar, the sample mean, squared, divided by the sample size minus 1. So this is the formula used to find your sample standard deviation. Now the first step that you would want to do here is find your sample mean. So let's look at this example. We have this data set and we want to find the sample standard deviation. The first thing you need to do is find the mean. So you find the mean by adding up all the values in the data set and dividing by however many there are. So in this case, our x bar, which again is the sum of all of our terms divided by however many there are. There are 11 terms, so n is 11. In this case, when you add up all of your terms and divide by 11, your sample mean is 21.7272. But you should check that as well. So you're going to need this mean in order to do your subtraction stage. So in the subtraction stage, you want to take each term, each xi, and subtract the mean from it. So on the left-hand side are all of the values from the data set. On the right-hand side of the subtraction sign here is the mean. So you want to subtract the mean from each and every term. And once you get the results here listed, you want to then square each of these values. So each result that you get from the subtraction, you want to square it and add it up. So you want to square this term, this term, this term, all the way down, and then add that result in order to get that numerator factor of the formula. So when you do that, okay, let's take this step by step here. So here are the squares, the square term of each of those subtraction results. So after you've subtracted and squared each term that you found, each one of those values, you want to add them up and get your result. So the result here is 264.1816. So that is going to be everything that we need in order for us to compute this formula. So now we can plug in and find our standard deviation. Remember, n is 11. That's how many data points there are, how many values there are. Our sum of the xi minus x bar squared is from here. So we subtracted the mean from each term, we squared each of those results and added them together to get 264.1816. If you take those two values and plug them into the formula, once you take the square root of this result, your final answer for the standard deviation would be 5.1786. Now you can plug this into a calculator or on a computer or TI-83, TI-84, Inspire, but it's good to know how to check this and how to do it by hand to see what's really going on in the calculations. So that'll be all for this video. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Thank you.